Chapter 12. At that time Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise. There will be a time of distress such as has not happened from the beginning of nations until then. But at that time your people, everyone whose name is found written in the book, will be delivered. Multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake, some to everlasting life, others to shame and everlasting contempt. This is one of the clearest statements of resurrection in the entire Old Testament. Written in the 6th century BC, the hope that defines Christianity did not begin with the New Testament. It runs through Daniel. Those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness, like the stars forever and ever. The ones who held on, who refused to bow, who kept praying, who stood in the furnace and walked out, they will shine. Not temporarily, forever. Then a man clothed in linen, standing above the waters of the river. How long will it be before these astonishing things are fulfilled? The answer: a time, times, and half a time. When the power of the holy people has been finally broken, all these things will be completed. And Daniel is told, close up and seal the words of the scroll until the time of the end. Daniel asks, what will the outcome of all this be? And the answer is not a calendar. It is a posture. Go your way, Daniel, because the words are rolled up and sealed until the time of the end. Many will be purified, made spotless and refined, but the wicked will continue to be wicked. Those who are wise will understand. And the final word to Daniel, this old man who has survived Babylon, Persia, and everything in between, who has interpreted dreams, faced lions, watched empires rise and fall. Go your way till the end. You will rest, and then at the end of the days, you will rise to receive your allotted inheritance. What makes Daniel remarkable is not just the visions. It is the person. He arrives in Babylon as a teenager. He is still there 70 years later, still praying 3 times a day, still refusing the king's food in his heart even when holding the king's power in his hand. Faithfulness is not a single moment. It is a daily orientation. When John writes in Revelation about the Ancient of Days, he is quoting Daniel. When he writes about the beast from the sea, he is combining Daniel's 4 beasts. When he writes about the Son of Man coming on the clouds, he is citing Daniel 7 directly. Revelation is not a new book. It is Daniel's visions brought to completion in the light of Jesus. Jesus himself quotes Daniel. In Matthew chapter 24 he refers to the abomination of desolation. At his trial, when the high priest asks if he is the Christ, he says, "You will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven." A direct quotation from Daniel 7 verse 13. Jesus is claiming the identity of the one who received the everlasting kingdom from the Ancient of Days. The 4 beasts represent the pattern of human empire. They rise from chaos. They rule by violence. They feel permanent. They fall. Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome, and every empire that followed has fit the same pattern. Daniel is not making predictions about specific future events. He is showing you the nature of earthly power and what always happens to it. This is why Daniel was read by Jews under Roman occupation, and why early Christians read it under persecution, and why it has been read in every generation by people who found themselves under the foot of some empire. It is not an escape from the situation. It is a framework for surviving it with your identity intact. The stories of the furnace and the lion's den are not children's stories with happy endings inserted. They are stories about what it costs to refuse the empire's demands. Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego did not know they would walk out of that furnace. They said, "Even if he does not." The faithfulness came before the rescue. What Daniel teaches is long vision. The book spans 70 years of one man's life and looks forward centuries beyond that. It teaches you not to make your assessment of God's faithfulness based on the circumstances of today. Empires feel permanent until the day they collapse. God's kingdom feels invisible until the day it arrives. 3 times a day, Daniel opened his window toward Jerusalem and prayed. Even when it was illegal. Even when the penalty was death. He did not pray loudly to make a point. He prayed as he always had. In the direction he always faced. To the God he had served since he was a teenager dragged north in chains.